Hey, what's your name?
Verity.
Hey, Verity, what is your opinion on the Super Bowl halftime show?
I really liked it, but then again, I'm also a massive fan of Bad Bunny's music, so.
So there's a big controversial point, even to the extent that multiple Super Bowls or Super Bowl halftime shows were happening. What do you think this represents in terms of like racial relations and just kind of politics in America?
I think it shows how desperate people are to feel verified and also comfortable within their own communities and what they know. Whenever there's a lot of political fear or contention, we can see people immediately trying to go back to what they know and what they feel is familiar and what they feel makes them comfortable within themselves. And sometimes that is political ideology, sometimes that is country of origin ideology, sometimes that is religious, sometimes that is like cultural. It just depends, really. But I think that it also shows how desperate people are to grab onto those things a lot, really hard right now.
Yeah. Do you think that just kind of as a society in America, are we moving like forward in terms, or do we have the possibility, like the hope to move forward in terms of like racial relationships and everything like that? Do you think, that we're kind of stuck in the way that maybe we are already going?
Based on the discourse that I've seen online and also the way I've interacted with people on campus and like the news articles that I see and like that kind of stuff and all the media I consume, I think it really just depends on how open people are for conversation, but also how open people are to just the concept of unity once again, because everything right now is very, very, I'm looking for a right word, but all that's coming to me is like really high-strung and really, really like there's a lot of tension going on surrounding race, surrounding culture, surrounding religion. So I think if people are just open to the idea of unity, we can go about like 16 steps forward.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Thank you for your time. Yeah. Hey, what's your name?
Sanderson.
Hey, Sanderson. So what is your opinion on the Super Bowl's halftime show?
Obviously it was a lot more controversial in the past. I think where a lot of the controversy stemmed from is obviously the Super Bowl halftime show was not in English. So I think that riled feathers, and especially with like the current political social climate around like immigration, what's been going on with ICE lately, I think it just kind of stoked the fire on that a little bit.
For sure. Do you think that, this kind of Super Bowl and the other halftime show, like the divide in here, kind of represent the racial relations and kind of like politics in America right now?
Definitely. I think it was a textbook example on how a lot of people kind of sit in two different camps. Because if I'm being honest, I can't say I liked either halftime show. And it just kind of, it was almost like, not to say that I disagree with the whole Turning Point USA thing, but it was like a very childish way to sort of retaliate against that. Like, I don't know, just it shows how low people are willing to go to kind of get at one another and take sides, regardless of what the opinion is.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of speaks to like polarization happening in America. Do you think, do you see any like hope forward into like moving into America that's not super polarized or super like, I guess, racially divided?
Yes, but honestly, not within like a 5 or 10 year time frame. Because this has been like an ongoing issue that has slowly crept up, honestly, like since the turn of the century. Sort of the rise with like the like neocon and like how like the liberal ideology is transformed. I honestly do see it getting much more divided over the next 5 to 10 years. And I think we'll reach sort of a breaking point where it's either, the country has a total social collapse or people need to put their differences aside and sort of find a middle ground. But I just don't think we're there yet.
Yeah. Any other thoughts about it?
About the Super Bowl halftime show itself, personally, I didn't like that it wasn't in English. I just feel like, with America, you can go to any other country and they're allowed to have sort of that central cultural and social identity. But for some reason, when you get to America, that's not the case. I feel like, had we done this in any other country, right, the halftime show almost certainly would have been in their native language. And I understand that America doesn't have a official national language. But the truth of the matter is that culturally speaking, we are generally an English-speaking country with certain values. And it also seems weird that, they would taunt a lot of other countries and their flags, on like an event that's supposed to bring like national pride and a sense of nationality. Not to say there's not a time and place to express those opinions, but it just seems very out of touch with the context of what that event was supposed to be about.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks so much. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Jay. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Jay. What's your opinion, or do you have any opinions on the Super Bowl halftime show?
I think it's great. I think it was a really cool experience. It was a nice, visual experience for all of us. I was at a bar, so it was a fun time.
Yeah. Do you think that the kind of controversy around this represents some kind of like racial tension in America?
I do think so. As you know, I'm also brown, and I think it's like a very important subject to raise awareness on. But I also think, I guess I'm trying to be out of all the controversy and whatever. So I think it does raise racial tension. So I mean, if that answers your question, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that America is like the path America is on is like going in a good direction in these kind of like racial tensions or not?
I can't really say it. It's just I don't want to put anything bad out there, but I do think for myself and my family, I do not feel safe as personally I don't feel safe. Yeah.
That's it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for.
What do you think this kind of like says about the current, I guess, state of like racial relations in our country?
A lot of turmoil. I don't know. I don't have much to comment besides that.
I think the overall term is bigotry. It's kind of the unfortunate realisms of society currently, especially stateside. So, it's unfortunate that we live in a world where we don't really support inclusiveness for everybody, from everybody. So, especially when it comes to the political stage. So, it's kind of just bigotry.
Do you guys have any hope that we can start going to like the right direction with this kind of stuff, or do you think that we're kind of going to be stuck, like bogged down in the current way that things are going?
As much as I hate to say, I honestly think we are stuck. Like, we're going down the wrong path. I don't think we are, or we can turn it around.
I disagree. I think that generationally, like I think that we're currently stuck in a boomer generation. As far as political standpoint goes, and so like representation wise, there's a lot less youth, in which we're seeing a growth of every year, especially every election year. So with that being said, I think that there's progress to be made, and there's progress being made. So it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of newer generation kind of stepping up and providing a different perspective to the table. So
Well, thank you guys. That's it. Yeah.
thank you.